Welcome back to Decode Healthcare with Harshal. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer because we're tackling one of the most common yet frequently misunderstood roadblocks in revenue cycle management. We're talking about the dreaded duplicate claim denial. So whether you're an experienced AR associate or you're just starting out in healthcare billing, mastering this specific denial is going to skyrocket your resolution rates. Today, we're diving into part 21 of our training course, Resolving Duplicate Claim Denials, and specifically focusing on those notorious CO18 and N20 codes. Get ready to take some notes. We're going to transform this frustrating denial into a clear, solvable puzzle. Okay, let's quickly run through our agenda for today. We'll start with the definition in codes, move into a root cause analysis, outline a step-by-step resolution workflow, review an AR caller note template, and wrap things up with a quick knowledge check.
Section 1. Definition and Overview of Duplicate Denials.
So what are we actually dealing with here? To put it simply, a duplicate denial means the claim you just submitted has already been processed by the payer. Basically, their computer system looked at the claim and went, wait a minute, I've seen this before. It flagged that a similar service was already performed for the exact same patient, on the exact same date of service, by the exact same provider, or sometimes even by multiple providers. Think of it like trying to use the exact same key to open a door you've already unlocked. The system just isn't going to let it through a second time without the proper context. Now, what's really interesting is how payers use different claim adjustment reason codes, or CARCs, to tell us exactly how they view the duplicate. CO18 is your standard run-of-the-mill duplicate claim or service, but N20, for example, tells us a service isn't payable with another service rendered on that exact same day. Then you have N347 and COB20, which are super fascinating because they indicate a conflict with another provider entirely. That means someone else outside your practice got paid for this. And M86, that warns us about frequency limits, stating a payment was already made for a same or similar procedure within a set time frame. Knowing exactly which code you're dealing with, well, that's half the battle right there. Section 2. Root cause analysis. Why do these actually happen? The crucial point to remember is that duplicates aren't always just simple double billing. Yeah, sometimes it really is a pure administrative error where identical procedures are billed twice because the same charge sheet was processed by two different charge entry operators. But honestly, it's often way more complex. It could be a refiled claim that finally reached the payer after the original one was already processed. Or maybe your provider performed two distinct medically necessary services, but your team forgot to attach the appropriate anatomical or procedural modifiers. Without those, the payer's computer just assumes it's a duplicate. Or hey, maybe you submitted a legitimate corrected claim, but you left off the proper resubmission indicators, so the payer just assumed you were spamming them with the exact same bill. Section 3. Step-by-step resolution workflow. All right, here are your immediate triage steps before you ever pick up the phone to call a payer. Step 1. Open your billing system and check the claim filing history. Was this claim submitted once or multiple times? Step 2. If it was submitted multiple times, you've got to hunt down the footprint of the original claim. Is that original one paid, denied, or still pending? And Step 3. Evaluate your CPT modifiers. If you have two claims on the same day, do they have the necessary modifiers to prove their distinct services? If they don't, bingo, you've just found your problem. The duplicate claim decision tree flowchart perfectly illustrates the exact logic path you should take, straight from our best practice training manuals. When you call the insurance company, your very first question is always, is this claim billed with the identical date of service, CPT, modifiers, diagnosis, and billed amount? If the answer is yes, and it was submitted twice, you just verify the original status. If a corrected claim was sent, you ask the rep to reprocess it based on the new info. But if the parameters are identical and it was paid to a completely different provider, you have to collect the appeal limit and address because you have a real fight on your hands to prove your provider deserves that payment. Ultimately, your investigation leads to a fork in the road. On one hand, we have the true duplicate. If you find that this was an identical charge entry error, literally an administrative oops where we billed the exact same thing twice, the only correct action is to adjust or write off the duplicate charge. But on the other hand, if we're looking at a distinct or corrected claim that's just missing modifiers, you route that straight to your coding review team to get it fixed. If it's a valid corrected claim, you get on the phone, speak to the payer rep, explain the differences, and demand reprocessing. Section 4. Standard AR Caller Note Template. You're going to want to use a standard template every single time you document these. It keeps things crisp, clean, and perfectly compliant. You list the date of service and billed amount. You document the exact payer you called, the phone number, and the rep name you spoke with. You clearly state the denial code, like CO18, Then, and this is absolutely crucial, you state the root cause you uncovered and the exact action taken to resolve it. Did you adjust it, route to coding, reprocess with the rep? Write it down. And finally, never ever forget to log that call reference number. This keeps your notes completely scrubbed of messy internal jargon. Section 5, Knowledge Check. Let's lock this all in with question 1. What is the claim adjustment reason code for a standard duplicate claim or service? Is it A, N20, B, CO18, or C, M86? Question 2. If a claim was generated twice because the same charge sheet was processed by two different charge entry operators, what is the resolution? A, send to coding review, B, appeal with medical records, or C, write off the denied claim. And question 3. You have two claims on the same date of service for distinct services, but they were denied as a duplicate. What is likely missing? A, patient demographics, B, appropriate CPT modifiers, or C, provider NPI.
All right, let's review the answers. For question 1, the answer is B, CO18. For question 2, it's C. True charge entry errors must simply be adjusted or written off, no appeals necessary. And for question 3, the answer is B. Missing CPT modifiers are almost always the culprits when distinct services get tangled up as duplicates. Feel free to pause the explainer right here if you need to review these vital concepts one more time.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. A duplicate denial isn't a dead end. It's simply the payer asking for a little more context. But ask yourself this: how much revenue is currently sitting in your AR buckets simply because someone forgot to append a two-digit modifier? Check your queues today and find out. Share and subscribe for free courses on Decode Healthcare with Harshal.